Hello friends, welcome back to another episode of Magic Mondays. Today we're looking at a deck called Instant Gratification. So this is a very simple, stupid deck, because the point of the series is not to win. The point of the series is to do stupid things. So for our commander, we have Illuna, Apex of Wishes. It is a 5 mana cost 6/6 flying trample with Mutate. Whenever this creature mutates, exile cards from the top of your library until you exile a non-land permanent card. Put that card onto the battlefield or into your hand. So, there's only 2 non-land permanents in this deck. I thought about making it 1, but really I'll talk about that in a second. So for mana cost, we've got an average of 3.3 with a whole bunch of 2 mana cost stuff and a whole bunch of 6+ stuff. Predominantly blue with some green and a little splash of red. We have 1 creature, we have 22 instants, 33 sorceries, and 1 enchantment, and 43 lands because there's no artifacts, there's no mana rocks in this deck. So the goal here is to create tokens with cards like Dragon Fodder, which will make 2 Goblin tokens, or even this, which will make a Zombie token. So we've got Hard Evidence, we'll make a Crab token. We're just going to make a token creature, basically, is what we want to do. Forbidden Friendship will do it, make some tokens. Krenko's Command will do it. Rawl's Reinforcements will do it. Chatterstorm, we can even make a Squirrel token. So we're going to make a token. We're going to mutate Illuna onto that creature, that token creature. And then we've got 2 non-land permanents, and those are Ancient Silver Dragon. And really, this card was the basis for this deck. I was like, you know what? I never really used this for anything. And it's a cool card, because when it deals combat damage to a player, you roll a d20, you draw cards equal to that result, and then you have no maximum hand size for the rest of the game. So you could just randomly draw 15 cards. I think that's a cool card. The other non-land permanent is Omniscience, because it's a 10 mana cost, but you could play spells from your hand without paying their mana cost. The one change I would make to this deck would be to take out a whole bunch of these X mana cost things, because they don't work with Omniscience. X is 0 with Omniscience. So I would probably change this if I were going to be making this deck again. But I do really like Crackle with Power. I mean, 5 times X damage to up to X targets. That's awesome. Awaken the Woods to create tokens that also make land, mana, that's really cool. Exponential Growth, if we just want to make our Illuna, I mean, we could just dump Illuna out as a creature too. It has trample, so we could just use Exponential Growth and just do straight damage. We don't have to use the mutate mechanic. So that's the idea, though, is to get either Omniscience or the Ancient Silver Dragon out, and then we've got all sorts of card draw. We've got this to return cards from our graveyard to our hand. We've got extra turns. We got Sublime Epiphany to make a copy of our dragon and also counter a spell and also draw a card. River's Rebuke because it's stupid powerful, why not? Rise from the Tide to make more tokens for instants and sorceries in the graveyard, which there's a lot of them in this deck. So this can be actually a really nice way of getting some tokens as well. Mind's Desire, I put it in here. It's not great in this deck. It's because it's a Storm. It's in here because of Storm. Because you cast it once on a good turn with Omniscience, you might have 5 or 6 copies of this going. But because it's a little bit heavier on land, odds are 2 or 3 of those 5 or 6 cards is going to be a land. So whatever. It's just a random thing, but it's for fun. Traversal Outlands to search for a whole bunch of land cards and get them into play. Another extra turn with Time Warp. Burn down the house to either create tokens or just to clear out some chafe on the opponent's side, including Planeswalkers. Transmogrify. This is a fun card because I can make a 1/1 token and then I can exile it with this, and I'm guaranteed to get the Ancient Silver Dragon because it's the only creature in the deck. So Transmogrify is exile target creature. That creature's controller reveals cards from the top of their library until they reveal a creature. Put it into play. Awesome. A turn 4 Ancient Silver Dragon is kind of a game ender unless the opponent has some removal in hand. More tokens here. Storm's Wrath to clear up the board, especially with Planeswalkers. Sea Double. So copy target spell. So this is great with Omniscience for Time Warp, take 2 extra turns. Or I could just use it to create a token copy of the Ancient Silver Dragon. Mythos of Illuna will also make a copy of the Ancient Silver Dragon, except I can pay the red-green to make it fight an opponent's creature. Vile Duplication to make another copy of the Ancient Silver Dragon. Asinine Antics is really silly. I do wish that the aura roll of Cursed would also remove creature abilities, but it does make them all 1/1s, which is kind of cool. And then we got some land stuff like Harrow, Roiling Regrowth, Cultivate, Crush the Weak, which is nice to get rid of like those little, landfall decks with Scoot Swarms or Elves or whatever. You can do 2 damage to each creature and they all exile, which is nice. Alchemist Gambit I put in here because I can pay the cleave, but it's also like, take an extra turn after this one and then lose the game at the beginning of that turn's end step. So if I'm close to winning, I can just dump this and go. So yeah, that's basically the deck. Here's another thing to make a copy of the Ancient Silver Dragon. And we got a whole bunch of like hexproof stuff. Heroic Intervention, Bombadil's Song, a little bit of counter here with Narset's Reversal. Well, Narset's Reversal isn't really counter. It's copy, target instant or sorcery, and return it to owner's hand. But it can be used on opponent's stuff or my stuff. So I can do Time Warp and copy it, and then Time Warp again. Tail's End is a counter. I really like Mystic Reflection because it just screws you over, or screws them over, I should say. Choose target non-legendary creature. The next time 1 or more creatures or planeswalkers enter the battlefield this turn, they enter as copies of the chosen creature. I think that card is super broken. When somebody plays their whatever Eldrazi commander and you make it into an Ornithopter instead for 10 mana, like it's really dumb, but it's funny. And again, some more hexproof stuff to try to protect my Ancient Silver Dragon. I don't really care so much if Illuna dies, because whatever, he's there to just get either Omniscience or that Silver Dragon. But yeah, that's about it. That's pretty much the deck. More hexproof, more hexproof, more hexproof, more hexproof, 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 indestructible and hexproof. Hexproof. So that's the idea. Get the dragon out, or Omniscience. Protect it, draw lots of cards. Whatever. Pretty simple. Thank you all so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoy it. I had a lot of fun playing this deck. Some of my decks are more fun than others. This one was really fun. I didn't really look at the lands much, but it's mostly, honestly, really basic. I actually have 32 basic lands, and then just some normal dual color stuff. I thought about putting in some of the lands where you can scry and all that. I kept it really simple for this deck, and it was fun. It was kind of a throwback sort of deck in a way with a really broken mechanic. But if you do enjoy this video, because we haven't gotten to the games yet, please like, comment, subscribe. Feel free to check out lots of my other stuff. I've got over 150 videos already published. I started this channel basically in May, and we are into October, so I'm doing a lot of content on this channel. I hope you guys find stuff you like. I don't expect everybody to like all the things, but I'm trying to do something for everybody. Thank you all so much for watching this. Like I said, like, comment, subscribe, and let's get to some games. Oh, and of course, please take care of yourselves and each other. We'll see you again soon.